Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about ways that you can save extra money so that you can pay off debt fast in 2020. If you're new to my channel or if you didn't see the YouTube video that I uploaded on this channel just a couple weeks ago, I'm in the process of completing my debt-free journey. So I'm trying to pay off over $18,000 in debt and I'm taking you guys along with me on that journey. I'm going to keep you updated on my progress in monthly videos, and I'm going to be making videos about how I'm saving extra money to pay off the debt just like this one. So in today's video, I'm going to be explaining all of the strategies that I'm using to pay off debt fast. And if you're somebody that's also trying to pay off debt, I really hope this video will be motivating and inspiring for you. And maybe you'll learn something new so that you can save more money and pay off more of your debt in 2020. When I decided to get serious about paying off my debt, the first thing that I wanted to do was increase my income. So it's not rocket science to know that the more money that you're making, the easier it's going to be to pay off your debt and the faster you're going to be able to do it. So there's a couple ways that you can increase your income. You can get a second job, which I highly recommend. It's super easy to just get a job like at a coffee shop or in a retail store that you can work after your full-time job or on the weekends. You can start a side hustle, which I have so many videos about starting side hustles. I can link a few below for you, or you can take extra hours or do something like that at your current job. So what I decided to do, since I already have three main sources of income, is I decided to take extra hours and just work a little bit more so that I can make more income and put more towards my debt. So as you guys know, I teach English online, so I decided to take extra classes so that I could make more money. I also work shift work as a social worker, so I decided to pick up another few shifts during the week so that I could make more money. So little things like that will go a long way when it comes to paying off debt. Just making a little bit of extra income every single month that you can put towards your debt is going to shave months, even years off of the time that it's going to take you to repay your debt. If you're planning to be aggressive in paying off debt in 2020, no matter what it is, if it's a car loan, credit card payments, or if it's a student loan, I think it's essential to cut your expenses. And you can do this in so many different ways depending on what you feel like you can part with. So if you go out to eat a lot, but you don't feel like that's 100% necessary for you, I would look at your food budget and maybe cut a little bit of money from here. Or if you're paying for some subscriptions that you don't use, that you don't feel like are necessary for you to keep paying for, I would cut those subscriptions. Another thing that I'm also trying to do and trying to be really careful with so that I don't overspend is my energy usage in my apartment. So I'm going around and I'm unplugging everything. I'm trying to use the air conditioner less. I'm just trying to use less electricity so that when I get the energy bill every month, I'm not paying more than I have to. And then that extra money can go towards paying off my debt. Another thing that I've cut from my budget over the last month or so while I'm trying to pay off my loans is mindless spending. So a lot of times I would just go to the mall, walk around, and then I'd find a couple things that I liked and that I would pay for, but I really didn't need. So I've stopped going to the mall and I've stopped just purchasing things that I don't absolutely need just because I want them. So cutting out a little bit of mindless spending every single month leaves you with so much leftover money that you can put towards your debt. When it comes to budgeting and organizing your money in your bank account, a zero-based budget is really helpful for saving money. So if you're not familiar with what a zero-based budget is, basically you're giving every single dollar a job that comes into your bank account. So what I used to do before is I would get paid twice a month and then I would pay my bills with that money, but anything extra that didn't actually go to like bills or paying for groceries would just sit in a general account in my bank account. And what would happen at the end of the month is somehow that money would get spent one way or another. So what we do as humans who like to have fun, who like to spend money, is that once we see a lump sum of money just sitting in our bank account after we've bought groceries and after we've paid for the bills, we think that this is just extra money left over that we can spend without feeling guilty about it. And this happens to us. It happens so easily. I know it happened to me before I started using a zero-based budget. And then at the end of the month, all of that extra money is gone and you no longer have any more money that you can put towards debt or you can put towards savings. So what I do now is every single month, I look at all of the money that I have coming in and I'll split it up into different categories. So I do groceries, utilities, rent, gas, I do debt, I do saving for date nights. There's so many different categories that I put all of the different money into so that I don't have any money left over, because I know that if I leave money left over in my account, it's gonna go to something silly like going through the McDonald's drive-thru when I could do something so much more purposeful with that money if I just assign it to a certain category when it enters my bank account. So even if I get an extra $50 during the month, I'll divide up this $50 between all of the different categories that I have, depending on how much money I feel comfortable with putting into the different categories. So for instance, if I have $50, I might put $15 towards our Christmas fund. I might put $20 towards gas for the month. Another strategy that's really helped my boyfriend Aaron and I save money over the last few months is giving ourselves a set amount of spending money every single week. So every week, me and Aaron have $50 worth of spending money. Now this might seem like a lot, it might seem like not a lot depending on your lifestyle. So that doesn't include groceries or gas, that comes out of a different budget category, but spending is for things like going for takeout or buying a little treat at the mall for ourselves. So that's what that $50 a week goes towards. And just having that set amount of spending money that you take out in cash, by the way, really helps to keep you on track with your spending. So I find when you're just swiping your debit card or your credit card, it's easy to lose track of how much money you've actually spent, and you're not seeing that money actually leave your person when you're using a debit or credit card. But when you take out your set amount of spending money each week in cash, it's a lot harder to part with cash than it is to swipe a credit card. So I find that it keeps me from spending so much. So like there's been many times that me and Aaron have gone out to the mall and we'll say like, oh, I'd really like to get a coffee or a smoothie or something at the food court. But then we look down at our spending money and we're like, man, we only have like $20 left for the week. I really don't want to spend it on a coffee. So then we end up keeping the money because we don't want to part with that cash, and it just holds us accountable and makes it harder to spend that money. Something else that I've been doing over the last month or so while I've been getting serious about paying off my debt is tracking my spending and writing down every single purchase that I make. Now I know this might sound a little bit tedious, but because I'm such a nerd when it comes to personal finance, I love writing down everything that I spend, and it's so great to look back on at the end of the month to see where your money is going. And it's really helpful to discover patterns in your spending and what you should really cut back on. So for example, when I go back through and I see how many times I went through the McDonald's drive-thru to get a McFlurry, I'm like, holy crap, this is definitely an area that I need to cut back on. But if I didn't have that data and if I didn't write down every single time that I had gone through the McDonald's drive-thru, I wouldn't realize how much money I had actually spent. So it's really helpful to write down every single thing that you're spending through the month so that on the next month, you can be a little bit better with your spending and cut down in certain areas. When you're trying to pay off a large amount of debt and when you're trying to save money, it's really important to keep yourself inspired and motivated. It can seem like a really big mountain to climb when you're looking at all of the debt that you owe and all of the money that you have to save for that big purchase. If you're somebody who's not paying off debt right now, but you're saving for a big purchase like a house, it can seem like a lot and it can be easy to get discouraged. So that's why another tip that I have for saving money and paying off debt is to keep yourself inspired. And I do this a couple of ways. I watch a lot of personal finance videos on YouTube. I like spending time watching people who are like-minded and who are working towards the same goals as me, because it just reminds me like why I'm doing what I'm doing and knowing that I'm not alone and there are a lot of other people working towards the same things that I am. I also like listening to podcasts related to money, and the podcast that I've been really enjoying lately is the Clever Girl podcast. They interview a lot of women who are trying to pay off debt or trying to save money for big purchases, working side hustles, all different things like that. And they also have a website where they have a lot of free resources related to money that I think are really helpful. So it'd be nice if you guys could check it out. I'll leave the link down in the description if you want to go look at it. Something else that I do to re-inspire and re-motivate myself every single day so that I can stay on track to paying off debt is spending some time looking at my bank account, looking at my spending tracker sheet, all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be long, just like 10 to 15 minutes every single day. I just look at my bank account, see exactly what money is in what account, what I've spent the previous day, and just sit and think about how exciting it will be when I have all of my debt paid off and what I can use that extra money towards. Alright everyone, so that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope it inspired and motivated you to reach your financial goals no matter what those might be. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also hit the red subscribe button if you're new so that you can join our YouTube family. Down below in the description, I have our private Facebook group, I have my Instagram, Twitter, those links that I told you about earlier in the video, all of that is down in the description for you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!